Hello, hello, hello. This is LZ, episode 29. Thanks for tuning in. Today is May 15th, 2017, on a Monday. Now, as you can see, this is my first video blog, or my first vlog, as they say. So I'm gonna be reintroducing myself for those who don't know me. My name is Lenny Zarilla, also known as LZ by my initials. I'm an artist. I make music, compose lyrics, sell apparel, and I like to expand my I work out, I'm a trainer, and I play in the stocks. So now what makes me different from other artists is that I try to expand on places where most artists wouldn't be expanding in. For example, I'm an hip hop artist, and I like to talk about politics sometimes. You know, artists don't usually, dabble or get involved in that. I like to say that it's important to leave a message to whoever your audience is, whoever your viewers is, or just the next generation, or just, your legacy, your brand. And I am a self-made brand, and I do create all my products, be it as far as whatever I write or whatever I compose, whatever I produce, anything I do. It's just my own creation. So I don't just want to be one to leave a catchy tune and it dies out. I want to be able to leave substance behind it. So with that being said, I try to expand my thoughts and not be fixated or compartmentalized into a certain category where you just view it as just one type of thing. Now, I know it looks a little odd, maybe, a person from a hip hop stature getting involved in politics, or just in general the government. It's like a weird mix, right? Here you got a guy with a fitted cap, some shades, talking a little bit of slang maybe, or just has an accent like he came from the streets, has street credibility, and it's just a different mix. I understand, but you want to be able to teach the young generation coming up who are like me, or probably, far more extreme. You want to give them a voice. You want to be able to let them know that anything is possible. That you can become congressman. You can become president. You can become whatever you want, in life. And don't be discouraged just based on what you grew up around, your environment, or just how you look, maybe the color of your skin, the way you talk. So you want to encourage that anything is possible, and that's what I would say to young graduates, that you wanna leave substance behind. You wanna be able to let people know what you was about, so they can remember you in the long run. Because that's what matters. That's what survives time. Is the words you use. Words are a powerful thing. Knowledge is a powerful thing. Information is powerful. It's just how you gather all that information, how you use that information, and how you express it in words that counts in the long run. So I would be very conscious, very, very aware of how you express yourself verbally, more than physically and stuff like that. It's more important than how you express yourself verbally. Now, it comes, your game verbally increases, of course, with mental strength, with mental graduation. Like, you have to have development in your mental capabilities, and time is the biggest teacher. Time will teach you everything. There's ups and there's downs. The thing is that when you're up, expect to have a down cycle. When you're down, expect to have an up cycle. It's what you do when you're in the down cycle that determines your character in the long run, So, like I said, I'm an artist. I write books. I'm currently writing a book that'll soon be out. But you can see my wall. I'm also a painter. Like, you're probably gonna be seeing that for a while because I haven't been inspired pretty much. But it's a process. It'll be something. I don't know what it's gonna be, but as you can see, I was flowing with something. So yeah, you always want to talk about something, and I'm LZ. I told you today the temperature. Getting back to now, what I usually talk about on my podcast. I usually give my temperatures, which is gonna be 64 degrees, and it's currently 51. Partly sunny, but it's very windy, and I recommend you wear like a sweater or something, So, with that being said, that would be, and reputation is important. Like, I've always been conscious about how my reputation. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I've been in bad situations. I'm considered a criminal, perhaps, and if you look at records and stuff like that, I've been in jail. But I believe in second chances. I believe people are able to change their lives. Sometimes these are the people that end up changing the world because they experience the world in a way that good people have never experienced it. I mean, if you look at Malcolm X, he was locked up, and look how he turned out. He turned out to be someone very, very positive who influenced millions of people. You look at dropouts like Steve Jobs. The young guy, Mark Zuckerberg, never finished school. And I could go on and on. But the point is that sometimes when you struggle, when you go through these bad situations, what determines your outcome is what you leave behind. So you don't want to keep reliving those bad situations over and over again, because then you just become stereotyped, stigmatized, and labeled with a bad reputation. And you want to prove that wrong because you make your destiny. You're the creator of your world. People will discriminate. People will hate. People won't like you just because you're different. Not everybody's supposed to like you. Not a lot of people like me. From both sides. Female, male. I don't know their reasons for not liking me, but there are people that don't like me. You could tell by the way they look at you. They scoff, You don't even know them, but they just look at you with their eyes rolling, or they're just looking at you heated, like they don't know you. There's no conversation. Like, I don't even know these people, but yet they're expressing certain hate. So of course, if that's happening, you're doing good, obviously, because something you're doing is obviously calling attention. But yeah, I just wanted to touch base on that. Getting back to what I usually talk about, like I said in podcasts, I wanted to talk a little bit about regulation because I see that for every little construction or thing you want to build, maybe you want to paint your house, maybe you want to construct, it's some type of thing that you need permit or regulation. There's always some type of thing that has to be done, and I feel like that should stop. I think regulation needs to be eliminated because it stops the creative process of human beings. I don't think I'm alone on that, because I heard the president is even not working on that. But as you can see, this mayor does nothing in my city, as far as I know, that is towards that goal. I'm not. Right now, it just came out on the news that he's trying to fund a campaign to. He's trying to fund a campaign so that he could fight the charges against him because he's being stigmatized, I guess, as being a scandalous person, which I don't blame, because in the past all you hear about is reports and news about the very same thing that I'm talking about, that he's just scandals and he's stealing money. So basically he's taking money from the taxpayers and for his own use, and now he's renting a yacht to fund to gain funding to fight the charges. So on top of stealing taxpayers' money, he wants you to pay for his fight against this charge. There's people that agree with him. There's people that like him. Like I said, I never saw anything that he did that was useful. And I'm not talking about that. Oh look, what he done with what he cleaned, or maybe he changed the park, maybe he renewed the park, or he cleaned a certain street. But that to me is not enough. And that's just being honest. To me, that is not enough. I need to see huge, big, colossal changes. I need to see some shit that'll last a lifetime, and he just, it's just, he's an old-fashioned, small-time guy, still surrounds himself with lobbyists and people that just in it for the money and shit like that. So, and it's just a different time now, man. So this is why I say the new generation can have a real big impact in how to shape or design the future. But you have to speak about it. You have to speak about it. You have to not be nervous about speaking about it. Surround yourself with people that think alike and get rid of all those toxic friends that don't like what you say or make fun of what you say. You don't need them. I see it like, sometimes there are people that might laugh at what I say, but who are they? They don't even got a name. I'm pretty sure that I'll be remembered more than them. I got people following me. Like, who are they? They're nobody. So don't worry about the nobodies. So that's like my nugget of wisdom to the graduates and stuff like that, and my news as far as what the mayor is running about. Oh, I want to say too, because I didn't have a chance to say it yesterday, Happy Mother's Day to all you mothers, all you women who have kids. I didn't post anything social as far as social networks, but Happy Mother's Day. My mother had a good time. I'm just not the kind of guy that post a lot of personal things on my page. I try to make it mostly just about my music or my podcast or anything just informative. Like I said, substance, and that's what I try to do. And what else can I say? Oh yeah, so here's another thing that I find myself doing a lot. I find myself reminiscing a lot. I don't think it's just with the millennials. Like I was with older cats too, and it's just wherever I drive by or wherever, you know, the scene calls for it, I find myself like, oh damn, I remember when this, or do you remember that, or damn, that changed. You know, it's like, what's going on? Is it just me? I hope I'm not alone in that, but I don't know. I feel like sometimes it could be annoying. They love it, you know, whoever's listening to me talk at that moment. But I start thinking about my grandpops who recently died. And he was someone who just always lived in the past. He always talked about the time when he was in 1930s or something like that. How he made like maybe $2 a day, you know. And he just kept living over and over. I used to be like, Grandpa's like, yo, that's it. We're in 27, you know, at that time, whatever. We're in the 2000s. Like, you don't gotta keep thinking about that, you know. But then here I am reminiscing and things, you know, like that's crazy how things change. Yeah, so I don't know. Hopefully I'm not alone, but it's just a lot of things change, you know, and you just more aware of things and you just talk about them. You know, most people don't, I guess, are not aware and they don't talk about them, you know. So I guess it's a good thing, you know. But yeah, you just gotta keep that on watch. I want to talk a little bit about insecurities. I think everybody is a little bit, you know, insecure about something. Me and myself, I'm insecure. If I show you my stomach, you'd be like, "Oh, you got perfect abs." But for some reason, I find some fat. I feel like it's not perfect, you know. It's just how it is, man. Like, you know, I got abs, but you know, still I think I'm fat for some reason. And that's just how it is. Which brings me to what I was gonna say next is that I'll be posting some more videos. Hopefully this is not my last, you know, about working out tips and stuff like that, how to eat proper, all in due time and process, you know. I will probably be posting more things like that of that nature to try to motivate or get people to get into the mindset of my workout routine, which is not easy because it's a little bit hectic. It might be too much for a lot of you beginners because I do a lot of circuit training, I do a lot of resistance training, a lot of heavy training. But I will try to do some workouts where maybe beginners can follow along. I'll probably do some aerobics and stuff like that with some stretching, you know, so keeping a lookout for that. And that's pretty much it for this episode. I want you to support me in any way, whatever it is that I put out there, like my album, my book, my clothes, on and on. Hopefully, you know, there'll be more things to add to that. But yeah, just support and or donate, and you know, whatever. I have the PayPal tab is there, along with other tabs that connects to money. You could DM me. You could subscribe to my book, which will be there too on the link. You can subscribe to my channel and follow me on all of my networks like Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. You know, just follow me. Share this. You know, share this with people who might not know me or you think should deserve to hear this, or you know, just pass the message along. You know, like I said, it's all about substance. You know, leaving a message behind, leaving that content for people to be like, yeah, I like that. You know, so. You know, and plus I'll probably be talking about other things like how to make money and how to just, you know, relationships maybe, you know. Currently I'm single and I kind of want it like that, and but hey, you know, I won't deny a beautiful girl if she's just throwing herself like that, but yeah, what else can I say? Yeah, so this is LZ show, I mean, episode 29, and thanks for tuning in. You already know this is not the last, and more to come. Oh, I almost forgot. I got a quote of the day. The quote of the day, which will be there too, is this: the hardest thing as an entrepreneur is setting up your finance to pay you automatically without any work. That's my quote of the day, because some will say the hardest thing is, overcoming difficulties, which is true, but in those difficulties, it'll be to how to set up your finance, so it can automatically be paying you on a weekly or monthly basis, that you can just chill and have that money, pay for the things you have, or set up. So it's just figuring out that, having a budget, setting up all the debt, learning how much you gotta pay, how many assets and liabilities, and then having a stream of income of just coming in that pays all that off, plus puts money in your pocket where you can just be like, yeah, cool, now let me go out for a drink or something, So that's the quote of the day. The hardest thing as an entrepreneur is setting up your finance to pay you automatically without any work. Remember that, words to live by. So again, thanks for tuning in. The LZ show, episode 29. And you already know, you heard it from me here first. Peace.